Did you guys see that Social Media Today article about VTubers? Because I don't even know how to respond. Please read this. So, Social Media Today published this article, and it says, YouTube has published a new report into the rising significance of virtual influencers and how AI-generated or digitally enabled entities are gaining traction, both on YouTube and more broadly. Which may sound far-fetched. It's a little strange to consider that non-human characters are somehow building bigger followings than real people. But in a rising number of cases, these digital characters are driving big success, despite not being attached to an actual human presence. As per YouTube, quote, last year, a sample of just over 300 virtual creators on YouTube earned over 15 billion views across videos, live streams, and shorts, with 1 billion of those views coming from within the US, end quote. YouTube reports on various virtual characters that are gaining big traction, including Narusama, Hatsune Miku, and Kodamiko, who YouTube defines as a virtual human. Indeed, YouTube has a whole overview of the different kinds of virtual creators and the various forms of digital characters that are gaining traction. And they give us this lovely infographic that's actually so funny. Like this one says, a virtual creator, aka a VTuber, is a constructed persona represented by a digital avatar, usually, but not always, created and performed by a real live human who behaves just like an actual creator. This is so wild. Defining characteristics are like a CGI avatar representation, and it's not representative of the performer. Come on, this is so weird. I don't know, that's just me. This part under production says virtual creators and artists who are brought to life through a variety of technical means, like video game software, live motion capture, CGI, holographic projection, which I'm sure they mean Vocaloids, and AI. I just think this is wild. Back to the article. The technology powering these characters is constantly improving, and you're undoubtedly going to see more and more of these characters emerging over time, providing a whole new consideration for influencer marketing and outreach, which YouTube says that all brands and marketers should be keeping in mind. Quote, this is another example of how the internet rapidly transforms niche trends into mainstream phenomena. This fundamental mechanic suggests that mainstream culture is simply a patchwork of subcultures. Marketers and brands, like viewers, should focus on their personal relevance. Eventually, AI-generated humans will be largely indistinguishable from digital creators, which will open new doors to content creation where virtually anything is possible, enabling more ways to connect. We're already seeing similar on TikTok, where virtual characters can now sell products on live streams 24/7, or at Meta, which is developing AI avatars of creators. These may take the human element out of social media to some degree, but they'll always make up for it in terms of always-on engagement, responsive, personalized interaction, limitless creative possibilities, and more. It's an interesting overview of the trend, which again is only going to become more significant as AI tools continue to improve. Y'all, are VTubers actually just AI? Am I a robot? Wait. Guys, am I real? Am I a real human? Now I'm having an existential crisis. Thanks, Social Media Today. In a completely serious note, I do want to talk about my personal opinion on this, especially as someone who reads a lot of Social Media Today, Retail Drive, basically all of them, all of them. I read social media daily, and honestly, I do find it pretty accurate and very helpful. I find them to use a lot of charts, a lot of graphs, a lot of quotes, and they always cite their sources. And if you cross-check them against other platforms, typically their information is correct. But I also read a lot of stuff just on algorithms and fashion. So when I read this one, Oh my god, I was surprised. Like, as someone who has read this every single day for the past like 3 years, I was shocked by this article and how inaccurate it was. I don't think I have ever read a Social Media Today article that was quite as inaccurate as this one. And that being said, it's inaccurate for quite a few different reasons. The first of all, well, let me just get this out of the way. You could argue that this is not about VTubers. This is about a completely different category, something called virtual creators, virtual influencers. Well, they included a chart about VTubers that specifically says VTubers, that counts their views, la-di-da. So yes, this is about VTubers, and I can talk about VTubers. So let's get into the inaccuracies of the article. First and foremost, I want to talk about the fact that they refer to our queen, our love, our number one idol is a virtual influencer, is a virtual content creator. Hatsune Miku, no. Our queen is not an influencer. She is an idol. She is not a content creator. She is an idol. So I don't think it's fair to lump like Hatsune Miku in this mix. Like, come on. I can't really talk about Neurosoma or Code Miko since I'm not familiar with them. I don't know their content. I low-key did not hear of them until reading this article. But in terms of VTubers, I think that this article is just not well researched. I don't think it really speaks to the niche or anything that VTubers are about. And there are some points in the articles that I want to talk about more closely. For instance, I don't think this writer knows the difference between VTubers and AI. I don't think they know the difference between virtual characters, virtual influencers, and AI. Like, I am not AI. I am a real person behind this avatar. And yes, it is an avatar, but this avatar is not AI in any way, shape, or form. VTubers are real people. So by saying that VTubing gets rid of that human interaction is just simply not true. We're not robots. Like, this is my voice, this is my personality, these are my stories. These are even my facial expressions. Like, I actually stuck my tongue out in real life. Everything is tracked. This is human. Sure, I look like a cute elf, pink-haired angel, but I'm still cute and sometimes have pink hair in real life too. Like, that does not make me a robot. That doesn't make me any less of a person because I use an avatar. And on top of that too, I think it's wild that they say that VTubing is going to get more popular as AI advances, implying that it's going to be more accessible. And sure, you know, VTubers, VTubing models cost thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, but this community will never move towards AI. If you know anything about the VTubing community, it is how much they dislike and hate AI. This is a community built on the backs of creatives. We are artists, we're musicians, we're riggers, we're graphic designers and editors. We are creative people who put heart and emotion into our work. We're never going to use AI. We are always going to support real artists and real people and their hard work. And it feels almost belittling that someone sees a model. They see how every eyelash is individually drawn and rigged, every hair strand, and they're like, yep, AI time. That's definitely AI. No, a person put in hundreds of hours into a model to create something that's beautiful. And I don't know, it just makes me sad. Like, this is not AI, we're not AI, we are not an AI supporting community, and virtual YouTubers are just as valid as regular YouTubers. VTubers are just as valid as FleshTubers, as regular streamers, as regular people. We're still influencers, we're still content creators, we're still beautiful people with beautiful minds. Like, I don't know. But thanks for letting me rant on this. If you liked it, stay tuned for more, maybe? I don't really know. I feel like this is a new kind of video for me, but I've been experimenting with content lately. So let me know what you think and if you like this. Okay, bye!